Hey guys, it's Alyssa from AlyssaNalani.com. Welcome back to my channel. And welcome to day 9 of the Seasons of Planning. This is a collaborative series that's going on this December, and it's being hosted by Miss Tamra, the paper and pen girl, who has, once again, single-handedly rounded up a whole host of planner babes here on YouTube to talk about one topic. Last year, we did the 25 days of planner tips, and you'll find the link to that playlist down below if you missed it last year. And then this year, as you saw from the title of the video, we're doing the seasons of planning. And so, like I said, this is day number 9, and if you just jumped into the series on my video, then you're gonna want to check out the description box for the entire list of planner babes who are participating in this series. You're going to want to check out the first video, which is where Miss Tamra explains the challenge and some of the details and then goes through the prompts herself. And then you'll want to watch, of course, videos 2 through 8. Yesterday, Miss Antonisha Lachey did her video, and if you came from her video to my channel today, then a special welcome to you. And then tomorrow, you'll want to check out Miss Jessica from the Planner Lifestyle podcast, and she'll be doing the video for day number 10. And then at the end, just a couple of days after Christmas, you'll want to go back to Miss Tamra's channel where she'll be wrapping up and giving some of her final thoughts, and she'll be giving some details about a giveaway that she is hosting, and you don't want to miss out on that. Okay, so I think that's all the introductory information that I need to give you. Let's go ahead and get into the questions. There are 7 altogether, and I have them written here in my planner, and I'm just going to start from the top. The first question is, why did you start planning? All right, so I've always loved paper and pen. My father worked in the printing industry when I was growing up. I love the smell of ink and paper. I might have had some kind of agenda of some kind when I was younger. I think my aunt gave me what I think was a Franklin Covey binder. Don't remember how old I was. I gave it away. Oh, you guys, it's so painful when I remember that, because I didn't know at the time. It was a beautiful blue Franklin Covey binder that I had way back when. I obviously didn't really use it that much or didn't see the value in it that much, but I really started planning when I was maybe late high school and then into college. I needed a planner to keep track of my assignments, especially during college, because I was taking a few classes at a time. I was working full-time as well, and so I needed to keep track of everything. When I was in college and working at a doctor's office, I remember one of the patients came up to my front desk. I worked front desk, and she had an Erin Condren. And I looked at it. I was using an academic planner that I probably got from Walmart or somewhere. And she had an Erin Condren, and I was like, ooh, that's a really nice planner. And she said that, thank you. And, she told me what it was. I wrote the name down, and I looked it up online. And you guys, I fell in love with Erin Condren at the time. And so I found it. I have it in a bookcase. This is my very first Erin Condren. This is 2014, 2015. This is back in the day. The cover was removable at the time. I think it's a delivery person. Hold on one second. It was indeed a delivery. My brother got a package. Anyway, like I was showing you, it did have the removable cover at the time, but oh my gosh. Let's see if there's anything blank in here. This was the layout at the time. This is early Erin Condren, you guys. Anyway, so fell in love with it. Had to have one. I had to take a deep breath when I saw the price for the first time, because remember, I'm coming from, your run-of-the-mill academic planner. And so I was flipping through it, and this is like I had just started dating my husband back then, and so there are like date nights and stuff marked in there. There are school assignments, I think, marked in there, and it was just, I look back at that season as one of lots of change, and I look back on it fondly, and I'm also extremely glad that I am no longer in school and working a full-time job at the same time anymore. But that's when I started planning, and that's really when I needed it the most. After I discovered Erin Condren, Later, I found out about the Happy Planner and moved on to the Happy Planner. And then from then, I moved on to the Traveler's Notebook. I think there might have been something else in between there. And then the rest is history. Okay, the second question is, why did I join the planner community? I joined, I discovered, I actually don't remember when I discovered the planner community on YouTube, but I joined after I discovered Traveler's Notebooks and had been in one. And so my first video was on my setup of my Traveler's Notebook. And the reason why I joined was because, I had, I'd fallen down the rabbit hole like everybody else did, just loving watching all the videos that were up. But I really just wanted to join in on the conversation. And I felt like I had something to offer the conversation. I felt like I wanted to just kind of share my spin on things and what was working for me and how I was using, my planner setup at the time, and just kind of be a part of the fun. And that's why I joined it. And so, that's pretty much it. I felt like I wanted to make the kind of videos that I wanted to see. I think that everybody has a very unique perspective and a very unique style, and we all kind of gravitate towards the people who think like us and who do things either the same and we can relate, or do things really differently and we're kind of in awe of them or appreciate the differences and maybe get ideas from that. And so I kind of wanted to make the type of videos that I wanted to see more of, and really just found a groove, and I have been working in that groove ever since. So this was back in 2018. I did my first video. I was a January setup for 2018, and I have not looked back, and I have loved every minute ever since. Number 3, what season of life did I just come out of? Okay, so the season I'm currently in has been so for almost 3 years. So the season before that, I would have been in school full-time, getting my degree in communications, and working full-time. And that was a really, really tough season. Like I said, that's really when I needed my planner, like, a lot. I was going to say the most, but I still need it now. But I really needed it to kind of keep me in step and to keep me on top of everything and to make sure that I wasn't letting things fall through the cracks. And it was a really, really tough time. I was dating my husband, and then I was engaged and, planning for a wedding and all of that. So it was really, really busy. It was a lot of stress. It was quite challenging, but I wouldn't trade any of it for the world. But that was the season that I have since come out of. The fourth question is the natural follow-up, which is, what is my current season of life? My current season of life is me being a stay-at-home wife, trying to build a business as a blogger and a YouTuber. The first year, so my husband and I are coming up on our 3rd year of marriage in February. Our first year, I was not on YouTube, but I was kind of trying to figure out what blogging looked like full-time. Second year, I started my channel, and then this is my second year on YouTube, almost third year of being married. And this year is the year when it's really started to pick up and gain some momentum. Specifically in the past few months, it's gained some momentum, and it's really looking like it could be something someday. After a lot of hard work, it's starting to kind of take shape, and I'm starting to find more of a groove and more of what I want to do, and more of, sorry, my nose itches. Anyway, more of what I want my brand to look like. And that's been a process. I mean, I'm not the same person I was when I got married. I'm not the same person I was when I started YouTube, when it comes to what I thought I wanted to make. And I'm very grateful for the process, even though there have been many times where I just wanted to give up and quit because this stuff is hard. It's really hard. It's one thing to do YouTube as a hobby, which I think is so totally awesome. It's another thing if you actually want to make a living doing it. And the pressures of that are absolutely real. And they are different kinds. They are a different kind of pressure than you feel when you're working for somebody else in any field. Not to say that one is more, has more pressure than the other. It's just different. And so that's my current season of life. And it's been challenging, but it's been good. All right, fifth question, again, another natural follow-up is, what is the season of life that I will be entering? And I don't have a hard, fast answer for that. I honestly don't know. Looking into the next year, the next couple of years, obviously I'm hoping that I can build a sustainable business. There are some things that my husband and I are still trying to figure out as far as we're renters right now, so what is that going to look like in the next couple of years? Do we want to stay in the area that we're in? Do we want to move somewhere else? What is all of that going to look like? And there are a lot of, what is my career going to look like? What is his career going to look like? How do we want to position those things? And there are a lot of things that we really, we're going to need a lot of prayer about. There are things that we're kind of waiting on right now, a little bit of a waiting period. And so I have no idea. Well, I shouldn't say no idea. I don't have as much of an idea about what the year holds as I would like. When I was in school, I knew there was another year of school, right? And then when I was at my last year of school, I knew I needed to get a job. But when you're kind of making it up as you go along in certain areas, that's what you're doing. You're making it up as you go along, and that has its own set of challenges. So 2020 is full of possibilities. We're trusting that God is going to lead and guide us, and with the rest, we're just going to do our best with what we have. So that's the season of life that we're going to be walking into, and we shall see what happens. All right, the sixth question is, did your planner needs change during those seasons? So, the past season that I was in, even the one before that, well, no, not really. That one lasted a bit. So the past season I was in, and then the one that I'm currently in, and then looking forward to the one that I could potentially be entering. What does planning life look in all of those seasons? And yeah, it definitely does change. It has to. When I was in school and working full time, like I said, I was keeping up with assignments. I really needed to make sure that I could see my week as a whole. Like, weeklies were hugely important because I needed to see when were certain things due in relation to each other. Nowadays, I do need my weeks. Like, I know I need my months, weeks, and days, but I really need my days in a way that I didn't before. And I've been pushing up against that for a long time and kind of been in denial, because that means that I have to function in a way that I'm not used to. But what I've discovered this year is that the reason why I need my days is because I'm in charge of every hour. And that's not necessarily a safe thing, because I am really good at wasting my time. And so when you're working for yourself, or if you're in a season where you're at home with your kids, or both, or a combination of all kinds of things, and you're in charge of every hour of every day, those dailies are so important. So for 2020, I decided that I needed to make sure that I was highlighting those days and staying on top of those days. And that's not an emphasis that I had before. Before, when I was in school, it was more focused on the week view so I could see how things related to each other. And not that I don't need weeks now, but the emphasis truly is on how I'm managing that time daily. And so I anticipate that to be a need that continues. I can only imagine that that's how my needs are going to be for the foreseeable future, as long as I'm working for myself. But that's how it's changed. That's how it's changed, and that's how it's developed. Definitely need all three, but where I've placed that emphasis has changed with the seasons. All right, number 7, the last question is, do I have any words of wisdom to share with you? And, I'm pre-recording this, so I have not seen all the videos yet that will have been posted by the time you see this. But what I have heard so far, I think what I'm about to say kind of echoes and agrees with the comments before me. But really, be patient and allow your planner, if you use one, or your planner system, if you use more than one, to be the assistant that it needs to be, that it was meant to be, and be patient with the process. Depending on how your brain works, you may or may not figure out how that system needs to work. But what you do need to do is you need to assess the season you're in, assess what your needs are, be able to define them, be able to talk about them, be comfortable in them, whether you like them or not, right? We're not always in a season that we like. We're not always working the job we want. We may not always, we're not always going to be comfortable in the financial situation that we're in, or the living situation that we're in, or the relationship situation that we're in, or whatever. But be comfortable, be content in that it's a season and it will pass. And know that there are going to be things you can control and things that you cannot control. And your job is to do the best with the things that you can control and leave the rest up to God. And so in your planning, allow it to assist you. Do not let it cause more stress. Do not let it be a distraction. Do not let it tempt you to go over and above your budget. Do not let it allow you. Yeah, that's right. It sounded funny when I said it. Do not let it allow you to compare yourself with what you see on Instagram, Pinterest, or YouTube in a negative way. Use those things to inspire you, but do not compare yourself. Let it be something that is of value to you, and let it be something that is going to function well for you. And like I said, that might take some time, but do realize that it is a tool and is not supposed to overtake your life and be of no use to you. You should not feel more stressed because you have a planner or a planner system. And then, like I said at the very beginning, be patient. You might have to try a couple things. Don't buy the expensive versions before you know whether or not it's going to work for you. And just let the process develop. These are seasons for a reason, and as a planner, the seasons of life are going to affect how planning works in your life. And just let that happen. I could go on and ramble more and more, but I do plan on doing a planner pep talk and kind of addressing more of these things next week. Yeah, I believe I have this scheduled for next week, so stay tuned for that. And I'll talk a bit more about those kinds of things. But in the meantime, just be encouraged that if you are a newbie to this whole thing, that you have an incredible opportunity for a journey ahead of you in the planner community. And you have a whole host of people who are in the same boat as you are in, no matter what season they're in. They're just trying to do life better. And if your goal is to do life better and to be more control of the things you can control, then be encouraged that you're in the right place. And so just kind of jump in. Don't go too crazy. Don't be overwhelmed. And don't think you have to have everything at once. And I'm going to stop there. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Make sure you tune in to the next video. Miss Jessica's channel is linked right below mine, and you can check out her video tomorrow. And be sure and watch all the rest of them. You're going to want to watch all of them because there's so much to say on this topic, and you'll probably be able to resonate with much of it. So Enjoy it. Have a wonderful, wonderful December, a wonderful Christmas season, and I will talk to you all in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.